there's nothing wrong with your monitor. The aspect ratio here is because when I'm in the platform trading, I want to see as much of the prices as possible, vertical pricing. So I just don't want to see anything too far back. Distracts me to look back on the chart and say, oh, well, I'm expecting this to happen because look back there, you know. And I see these people commenting about people's videos being very, look at that, oh, I love all the space on your charts, and wow, what a giant landscape view. Well, let's face it, all those prices are untradeable. You can only trade the right side of the screen. I only care about the current bar I'm on. My philosophy is that if you're a trader, you should be able to trade like if somebody put a gun to your head and said pick a trade right now. What is the trade right now? You should be able to make a quick and dirty decision. So I think if you know how to trade, you shouldn't be waiting for a setup. The setup's in front of you. It's not the setup you want to see. People say, oh, I'm waiting to see this, I'm waiting to see that. I'm waiting to see a blonde. I only date blondes, you know. Okay, well, she had her hair changed. She's fake. She's a fake hair. Fake news, fake hair. Fake breastises. So look at this hotkey keyboard here, and I bought this for $50 used. You can buy these all day long for $50. Pretty much like new. There wasn't any beer spilled in the one I bought. Mine doesn't look exactly like this. I don't have the touchpad here. So I'm missing the touchpad. But I have, because I don't have this, I have extra keys up here. The number pads move down. And I can assign all these keys all the way up to really, right to the end there, actually. Some of those are pre-programmed. The very last ones are print and delete. So actually on mine, I can start here. I can program from here all the way down. And so what I decided was that the bottom keys would be buy and the top would be sell. And this would be buy at the market, sell at the market. The question is, how big do I sell? How big do I buy? Where's the stop? Where's the take profit? So right at that point, you're forced to kind of come up with a trade plan. So you're backward engineering this stuff, right? Instead of analyzing, you say, okay, how much money do I want to make? How many pips do I want to make? How big do I want to trade? People should start with a trade plan before they even look at a chart. And then they take that trade plan and they say, where can I launch that trade plan on the chart? And it just seems like all the education, and I had some career student comment on you could see the guy was a student because he just couldn't think. He was just like, oh, that's what they told me. So you can really become an unthinking, undynamic person if you take too much school. The software here is downloadable and stuff, but I will advise anybody that wants to program one of these keyboards that inside the software you need to the command set for hotkeys. I don't know if anybody knows it. I figured it out the hard way. You have to hit Control, and then if this wants to be Control 1, you have to you just have this in your programmer. You just have, all you see is the normal keyboard. Control, hit 1, come back and hit Control again and release it. Otherwise, what's going to happen is it's going to stay held down. So the command's going to go Control 1, Control. And also you can have it so that when I have delete all objects, if you have a bunch of charts, you can have, I just woke up. You can have, so if I start slurring, it's not because I haven't started drinking yet. So you can have it so you can go Control, Tab, Control on a hotkey, connected to delete all objects. So after it deletes all objects, you can put a whole series in there, and it goes to the next control tab. Control goes to the next chart. Okay, so then the next key I have here would be buy and a limit. This is the way I set mine up, was market, limit, limit. And depending on which broker, some of this might be a stop entry. And when I say stop entry, I'm talking about getting in maybe 1 or 2 pips above or below current price. So in essence, it's a market order. Although there's slight confirmation on entry, market's coming down, and this, say, the rest of the keys are all stop entries, all the way to here, because I don't have F11 on mine. There's about 20 versions of this keyboard out there. So if I have 10 keys, the first 4 are here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So my 10th key here is going to be, of course, by my 8. Okay, that's not right. 8. 10. My 10th key is sitting above number 9 on the keyboard, which that's not here. This is scrunched in here to fit. So my keyboard goes 10. This is control 0 out here. So here's your bank of that's 4, 8. Here's 10. And this has a wider stop. So on my buy stops, if my buy stops start at key number 5, I could set that to buying a stop 1 pip above. Here's the ask, here's the bid, and this is where you're forced to come up with a trade plan for every key. So it's 20 trade plans on 20 keys, 10 buys, 10 sells. But that's just for the keyboard. Now I do have hand placed drops, so I'm intermingling. I have limit grids, and then I also have hand placed buy and sell stops, the single drops. So there's 3 styles of scripts in the platform. The first one is the if you go to the platform and you take a look at the column here, the first thing, these are drag and drop only. There's 20 pips to make 20 pips. It lasts all day. And if you dropped it here on the chart, it would be a buy stop. Now there's nothing wrong with that. And you put a buy stop here. Because if this thing should go, this is the 1 hour euro dollar. If it should go out of this triangle, this is your trade plan. I think it's going up, so a confirmation on entry there. You could also put a buy limit here, because what happens before a market goes up? It goes down before it goes up. Before you get here, you got to come down here and find enough fuel to make the run, even here. So what I'm doing is I'm saying, okay, I'll trade the breakout, buy stop, but what if it comes back here? I'm going to split my ticket. People don't like to split their ticket because it's either all or nothing thinking, or it's thinking that they fucking know what they're doing. They know the right price, right? What does the market do before it goes down? It comes up here and it stops everybody out. So if you buy in limits here up into this doji, right? Now, I'd say if you just started trading and you want to do your total risk for the day, you have to have a total risk for day, for 24 hours. And I do think these decay in 24 hours. Now these are the B for buy. If you tuck away the limit grids, which is limits only, here's your sells. So you want to sell up there? It's very easy. I'm going to risk 18 pips. These are all 1Ks. So you risk $1.80. I can't do it now because the market's closed. None of this shit's going to run on it won't even run on Strategy Tester. It'd be a dream if it did, because you could practice all weekend. But you can just, you can just practice in your mind, then just lose your mind. But you can see here that if you would have placed a sell limit here, you would have got filled because that's the bid. You're selling the bid. You can't see the ask. You can see if you got it filled on bids. Sell limit here. You get filled. Your target's here. You just made money, right? Now, how tight did the stop need to be? This is a 50 pip grid. You could put up a 10 pip grid. So say you want to make 10 pips, you go up to the indicators and you pick up the, look at Bill Williams has a whole section here, alligator. Don't ever fucking trade the alligator unless you want to get your arm bit off. Let's go for a 10 pip grid, right? Okay, so we know what 10 pips looks like. We know here that we could have run a 10 pip stop and made all this money. Now, if you wanted to put stochastics and all that bullshit on, it doesn't matter because the market doesn't trade stochastics. You can't make, like, your broker, the market doesn't, RSI, you can't trade RSI, you know. You can only trade prices. And people say, oh, that's, well, that, duh. Yeah, but why are people spending so much time with these Gartleys and all this garbage? Harmonic trading. I mean, it's just the funniest thing I ever heard in my life. It's so hysterical to anybody that wants to make money. It's a laugh riot. That's what we call it. Now, you won't always get filled, but that's why you have the stop ending. You have the goober entry, the retail, what you've been told your whole life. Stop entry confirmation. What's the setup right now? I was talking to a trader who says, well, you know, I bracketed that doji, but they kicked me out. I lost on some of the tickets. You have to... People say, well, I'm looking for a profitable system. There's no such thing as a profitable system. There's profitable trading. The systems are just, you know, this, oh, I got a signal to do this and that. I mean, are you serious? Are you really kidding? If you trade without stops, right, maybe you'd eventually be right, but you'd probably blow the account up too, right? I could make this supposition here. I could speculate. Look at this, like a perfect touch on this trend line. Let's buy there. But maybe I'm buying there because of this painful fact that we just made a new low. So how do you trade with these drop scripts? I'll get to the hotkeys. I haven't forgot about the hotkeys. But this is the whole platform. This is all you need to make $1 million right here. It's the effort, the work. So people want an EA and all this stuff. It's not gonna, never, EA's, it's a joke. It's literally a joke. I saw MT5 runs EAs, but they won't run scripts. Huh, weird. So these are your sells, these are your buys. Now, if you just want to have your orders last, you just have dailies, you turn on, you just tuck away. You don't even want to see anything but dailies, right? You've got a day job, you put in your orders, and let it go, man. Just let it go. There's nothing you can do that's going to change that trade. Here's your buy and sells for the whole day. Now, this is the palette of orders. This is your risk parameters. 30 pips stops on most of this stuff to make 80 pips. If I took this order, given the fact that I can see 10 pips on here, this is the 1 hour euro dollar. What is the trade right now? I know the trade right now. See, I used to say, well, what do I do? What's the indicator saying? Where am I MACD crossed over yet? Holy shit. Forget it. You need a trade plan. Now, maybe you don't want to risk 30 pips. Well, okay, snug up these, rewrite these scripts. How do you rewrite them? Open them up. It's very plain as day in here. These are the simplest things on the planet. The very top here, how big do you want to trade? Trade as small as your broker allows and put in 2 tickets. Just keep on putting in orders. If you're going to make that a 2K, then you're saying, I really know I'm right about that trade. I'm twice as right about that trade than any other trade. If you're so right, then put them a half a pip apart, a half a fucking pip apart, right? But if it only fills one of those, you go, oh God, thank God I had the other one in there because my Gartley had that thing right a half a pip away. Oh my God, he's right. The other thing critical is how long does it last? Now in MT5, timings are inside MT4, even though if I put an H here, it's going to come up and say, capital H, it's going to say, oh, H1, H4, not true, not true. You can put H1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12. Okay? Amazing spectrum of time, too. I'm in high resolution stuff, okay? So when I saw this, I just said, yeah, that's it, high resolution. So right now, everything in here is set to 8, I think. Or D1. So you got to be careful here because what I wrote in here is to streamline it so I can run it on tablet. Another reason I'm vertical here is because I'm trading on my tablet now, so I can hold the tablet vertical and see the price. Landscape is for analysts, verticals for trading. So the or fantasy Gartley's on the landscapes. And I know people got sucked into that because it's no wonder, right? Look at the world. Look at people's thought process, logic and reason. It's out the window. People just range of the moment living is what Ayn Rand called it. But see, this is what you really need: is range of the moment trading, range of the bar trading. What's the trade now? So you can you rename it before you edit. You rename this to what you want it to be, then you change the stop loss, take profit. I never changed this number. I don't know what it means. It's slippage. It doesn't mean that you're paying that slippage. I want to bounce around here. These are not hotkey launchable. Down here is where I made the comments streamlined to buy limit D1, buy stop D1. Now these orders are this is where anybody should start trading. You should always trade like this. When you think about each trade plan, and maybe you got 100 trade plans pre-programmed, you know exactly what to put on the screen. This is like if you're an artist, you make your own red. What you do is you buy a high-end red for like red costs more than some other colors, like, and then you just have another color that you blend with that. And you make blends and you have a palette, right? You see these guys, and you don't really want to mix the paint on the canvas typically so you don't lose vibrancy. But what you really want to do is have a palette of orders. There's no one size fits all. There isn't like, oh, I can just have, maybe you could have just 3 order styles, but then you're going to lose your ability to accommodate the marketplace. So what you got to realize is when people come into your store, business model, is that you have different colors. You'll notice that even the people that sell computers have, well, we have the red version, we have the blue, we have the pink for the girls, we have, and this is why people are like, wow, that's really, ooh, that's gonna be expensive. Meanwhile, I gotta have the dies set the oh yeah, right. Well, when you buy your blue computer, you're paying for the red one because you had to pay for the fact that they just, like, remember the Model T? You can have a car as long as it's black to keep the price down, right? So let's go back to the platform and see the what these look like. So in the hotkey system, what I did was I made the buy stops, which are, okay, so these are the drops. Now these will turn into buy stops if I place it above, so you can see the trade plan if the market was open. Maybe it's going down. It looks like it's going up, but maybe it's going down. You could put a sell stop here. You could put a buy stop here. Which script do you trade? Which scenario are you expecting? You could put a sell stop here, buy stop here, buy stop here, sell stop here. Let it go. Just let it go. Let her cry. Hootie. Blowfish. If they should take this out, maybe they're going to trap. But you wouldn't think about that because you've done your plan. You go to another currency, maybe do the same trade. Maybe you buy at the market when it opens. If it's right here, if it doesn't gap open, you buy at the market with a stop here, a stop here, a stop here. But this is a triangle. You should know how to trade a triangle. This is not a triangle. This is a triangle. Right? Low ATR, breaks up. People say, that's not a triangle. That's not a doji. Anytime the market stalls, it's a doji. Here's a doji. Here's a doji. Everywhere a doji. Inverted hammer. I can already see. We closed here. It's got a tail. Inverted hammer. Okay? It wouldn't even matter if it closed down hard. Oh, the bears are in control. Big bearish. No. You have to abstract. You have to disambiguate. You have to take it down to the very root. Here's the 10-yard line. Bottom becomes a top. Uh-oh, failure in golf. Pure auction. Bar by bar, hour by hour, you should have a trade. Yeah, you could go down to 15, look for a doji, get on this train here. Yeah, you're late to the party, but you know where the exit door's at. The exit door is all the way up. How can you tell when it's running out of momentum? Do you need a momentum indicator? No. You can see it stalled out, went sideways. People overthink stuff because they think if they really think about it, then, oh man, it must be, what's the secret of trading? Remember the back of magazines. Learn the secret of trading. There is no secret. The secret's in you. The secret is fear and greed. That's the secret. How to overcome that is to have trade plans. So, say I only want to risk 20 pips to make 20 break even. This is classic, get her started trading break even. Buy one at the market break even. Stop here. Buy one, stop here, stop here, stop here, limit, limit, limit. All designed to go up. You're not going to trade a breakout. What is how to play this? Right? You'll see again, how to trade a breakout. Go anywhere on the internet. If you can show me any guy that has dual strategies connected to a triangle, you know what they're going to say? How to trade a breakout. Still waiting for... It's going to look like this. Well, let's put a buy stop here, or a buy stop here even. And we'll put our stop for that buy stop connected here. And when it goes up, you get filled and and then you manage your trailing stop. That's not enough for me. Every time I'm talking about what you should do, I'm saying this is what I have to do now. Because I can't afford to do the shit that they teach. All this bullshit that you see. $4,000 courses on how to fucking just churn your account. It's never going to work for me again. If I think this is going up, I'm going to buy. I'm going to buy in a stop. I'm not going to buy this late. I'm going to buy at the market, buy in a stop, buy in a limit, buy in a limit, buy in a limit. I'll buy in limits all the way to here, 20 pips deep. I'm in the market here. Right? Maybe I get stopped out. Maybe these limits have stops that are here. Maybe I have a master stop here. Maybe I'm like, you know what? Master stop here. I'll buy this whole MF. That's motherfucker for me. So, this is the premium place again. Previous top. This is where people are going wrong. The way they even teach it's going wrong. I know it because I watch the videos. You're asking, well, why would you just... If you want to buy, why don't you just buy here? These are even better prices. Oh, no, but my system says get in here. I got a break. I'm trading breakout strategy. Okay, how's that working for you? I don't know. They keep stopping me out. It's crazy. Yeah, because they can see your stop, don't you know? Son, let me tell you something. You think they're going to make it easy for you? If it's that easy, everybody do it. Yeah. This is what I saw. Woke up, went to sleep with a thought. And this is quintessential. Colonel, I think, is that trading is simple, but it's not easy. It's simple because the simplicity is that you could say, I want to buy. Now, the hard part is placing all those orders. Ouch. Wow. Got to drag and drop. Yeah, I got to put the orders in. So it's very simple, but it's not easy. It's work. Simple doesn't mean easy. It just means clean, simple. It means singular. Simple comes from singularity. Complex is all the orders. That's the work. All the complexity of placement, not the complexity worship of, oh, I got like level 5 trading and Bill Gates has an order down here. Why in the fuck would that matter? Level 2 trading, dominant submission trading, does not show you where to put your take profit and your stop. There's where to get in. Well, supposedly they're telling you where to take profits and put your stops. But another thing with these Tino traders, they're trading a 4-decimal broker, really. Forex brokers have an advantage. We have 10 times the resolution in trading than any Tino trader because they're 4 decimals. So 5-decimal brokers came in after the 4-decimal broker. They put another one on. They got higher resolution, right? More price discovery. That's auction talk, price discovery. And then so maybe here I have an 18 pip stop, and I can place this order up on the treetop here to trade coming back the other way. So maybe I do want to go long here, but I want to put a sell here to come back the other way, and my take profit has already been defined by this. Anything under here is a take profit. If you sell here, anything on the way back to here, but let's never go down over Speculationville where we're going to sell here and it's going to end up down here, some bullshit, or we're going to sell here and our target's here. How does anybody make money on that? You've got to get out on the spectrum of orders that you place. You've got to be scalping out of 5, 10, 15, 20. But I hear 80% of your account. I just did it in the last demo video, real time. I was doing it while Mark Douglas is speaking. I traded that thing up. Made $400 in an hour. Okay. Trading just like this. Now, I use the hotkeys on most of that because once you figure out how you want to do these drops, then you can put that into the keyboard. And then you can design. Everybody's going to trade different. There's no one way to do a painting, okay? You may just trade on stops all day. You could build hedges on your hotkey keyboard, but it is hard programmed. So once you choose, you've only got 10 buys. So if you choose a certain stop for that, that's it. Once you choose to buy a 6K 1 pip above with a 10 pip stop to make 10 pips, that's hard coded into that. Lasts for 15 minutes. So I don't use that all the time. I use that when I'm babysitting the market. These other things you could set and forget it. Literally, if you're going to buy 200 pips deep somewhere at a support level that you perceive to be support based on, you know, I usually like to get it at the edge of the market where everybody's getting stopped out. I'll buy the stops off them. The next key, I have the same 10 pip stop, but here I'm trying to make 15 pips. Smaller position, 1 pip above. And it could be a market order, but I could put this at 1.5 pips above. Whatever you feel is going to fit your dementia at the time. So let me go to the spreadsheet that I can visualize these on. So I did a video on, didn't get a lot of views because apparently trading is, nobody wants to talk about trade plans, and because I just took a look at my, about 97 views on this video. But this is the crux of trading here. This is the boring stuff that nobody wants. People want a signal service. People want to, like even when I said the euro's, this is another fallacy that we all fall into. I think the euro's going to 130. It never made it, you know. People get a destination number in their head, and when they do that, they blind themselves from what's really going on right now and all the money they could make if they traded bar by fucking bar. Stop with the look back shit. I'm talking to myself here, in case I'm hurting anybody's Gartley's feelings. Fantasy traders. So here's hotkey number 1. So Let me zoom out here so you can see the forest for the trees a little bit. Now this is all 10 keys, and this is a visual representation, not of what on the platform now, but this is, it's a bottomless pit of variations, right? This could be a scalp buy at the market. Here is the actual key, say, this is conceptual here, theoretical. Empirically, you would just have to trade it. But here, this is the ask, this is the bid. If this is, we're assuming a 4-digit broker here, though, right? These are all written in 4 digits, so this is 0 pips, 1, 2. The spread's 2. I could move this down to here, 1 pip spread, right? But I'm assuming that you might trade the guppy or whatever. That's not going to matter. If you're worried about spreads, you really shouldn't be even trading, but because you're gonna be down, commissions or spreads, whatever have you. It just wouldn't matter. Like if you're buying a 1K, what does the spread matter, right? Because if you got a buy limit pending below here, you just can't be any business. I mean, I've owned my own business for years, and not trading, but I've taken a lot of hits. I've lost a lot of money to retain clients because it could have been their mistake, but I bailed them out. So I'm used to losing while making money. So a lot of people that have day jobs are like, oh, they look at their paycheck, what they take out this week. I mean, it's trading's tough unless you're willing to spend money, and not on education. All of your learning should be empirical losses in the market. Now I know people want this guidance and they'll pay for it, and I'm not selling anything, so I can just go off on a rant. I'm not going to lose any clients or any advertising, and that's why I'm doing this. Show people how to trade, but they say, well, how could this guy know what he's talking about? He's not selling anything. And if you're selling something, they go, he's full of shit, because if he knew it, he'd trade it. Well, I'm proof. I know what I traded. I don't need to sell anything. And then some guy said, thanks for posting the videos, and thanks for... I'm learning so much from people's comments. I'm learning what a mess, right? And I'm learning that, and then when I see people criticize me, I go, oh my God, thank God. It only concretizes that I'm on the right path. That I know, that I go, oh God, man, if this guy thinks I'm nuts, I'm on, like if this idiot he doesn't see what even I'm talking about. I'm talking about trading. They're talking about analyzing. They're talking about certainty, and I'm talking about making money from chaos. I want to make money from uncertainty. We're all looking at the same data. The banks can't see something that we can't see. We're all looking at the same prices. Some guy said, well, do you think the banks have better information? Even if they did, are they acting on it in their best interest? Think about this shit. Take a view. Imagine you never know anything about trading. So here we have a situation, because I can't put in a 5 decimal on this grid. I'm at, if I go maximum zoom out, you can see if this was tenths of a pip, you couldn't write a fucking trade plan. Now, when you launch this, if you hit this key twice and the market's moved 3 pips, you've got 2 fucking trade plans overlapped. So what if this is buy at the market? What if you're so fucking good at trading that you buy the ask, you paid the 2 pip spread, here's your stop. So is this stop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 from the bid. In the script, buy at the market with a 6 pip stop. But it's not a 6 pip stop. It's 8 because you bought up here, right? You're paying this. You're paying all the way down to here. And your profit is to here, right? Worse than break even. I'm sorry, it's break even, right? This is this, and your stop, you paid this price, and oops, here's your stop, right? Now that could be C1, And I don't have the cells on here because I'm not going to write. You just invert the numbers, and you have to. Inside the script, you need to write the script so that it says C1 key. Now this is buying at the market. I wrote this for some guy, and I was actually trading this, believe it or not. Some guy wanted a scaled out entry. This buys 4K at the market, and probably getting filled slightly different how fast the server. The very first one's executed here. 5 pips stop, 6, 7, 8 pips stop, but not really because you bought the ask. Here's your take profits. 10, 24, but not really because, well, I guess, but right, you're down the buy at the market. These comments would show up if you turn comments on, right mouse click on your terminal window and turn the comments on. The time doesn't matter anything on market orders. I just left it in there. I probably could take it out, but it's not hurting anything. And then that way I could make this into, I could have a buy, I could have the first hotkey could be buy at the market, and it could put a stop in and it could put a limit in. I could buy a 1K. Like, this doesn't have to be pure market orders on the script. So it's a bottomless pit of expression. And I haven't heard it in any Mark Douglas's things. I think it's, if I heard him say it, that a human being demands expression. Whether they rant or whether they rob a bank, they demand expression. And so why do people do artwork? Because they have to, right? So they can be sane. It's therapy. The Thinker guy, the guy that did The Thinker, can't remember, the famous artist, the guy that's got his fist on his chin and his elbow on his knee. He says that it's not a choice, right? He has to do this artwork. Yeah, or he'd lose his fucking mind. This is why I'm bitching. So I drink less. So this expression is mandatory. And when we hit this hotkey, we're expressing, it's an expression. And I can make this hotkey do anything I want. It's my little legal slave. So the next key could be buy limits. I don't think I got that key up here. Wait. I probably don't. Yeah, so open that up. That would be going back to the well, here, so back to the spreadsheet. So this is the theoretical conceptual part is the spreadsheet. So this is hotkey number 1, break even, scalp, choose a size. Next key is a little bit bigger, slightly bigger risk by this much. You're going to buy this price. You're going to risk this much to the stop. And here is your take profit. Blue is take profit, red. And I just wrote it so it's like enter, stop, and this, because the computer is literally going to throw those in that order. That's the syntax for the scripts is entry price, stop, take profit. That's how the scripts read when you read them across. So in market orders, you don't have the entry is the price. Whereas if you have the stop, you have where do you get above, and of course bid, you're going to get on the bid. You could put this to ask, it would still run. You could make that mistake, but to keep things proper, if you're from Britain, it has to be proper. And so, you know, formally that would be, and here it says buy stop M30, which is not exactly correct because it's 15. Now, this is as far as when the market's dropping. I don't want my buy stops until I get up to key number 10, which is a higher risk. I could make this last for an hour, say. But you would know when you went to your keyboard, this is going to buy 2.3 pips above current with a hefty 25 pip stop to make a hefty 70 pips. Okay, so when the news comes out, you know that key number 10 in your mind's eye is going to be a broader risk thing. So I go to the keyboard and key number 10. So we have the So this way you can just have your hand on here and also have a take all profits key up in the corner. You can't see it. So I just have my finger when I'm really scalping like a crack whore. I have this finger on the take all profits and I'm buying at the market, say. Buy at the market, buying limits, limit, and maybe this could be a stop key, stops. Then stops to here. This is key number 10. I know this is a 25 pip stop in my mind's eye, and this is maybe a 20 pip stop. Now, the way you do that is that it's up to you. Do you want that stops to be flat across the board here on these keys, or do you want the stops to be sloping away and the profits to be sloping up so that when you get to the end here, you're risking, say, even 30 to make 100. The market's on fire, and you're waiting for it to drop to probably place this, but you don't have to. When the British pound was I made a bunch of money overnight in the British pound because they just said, you know what, it's time to put in those it's time for the wide orders. We can't. Market's quiet. Maybe in Asia you're sitting here with a buy stop here, or you're buying at the market. There's some scalps. It's hard to keep track. I use multiple brokers, so I kind of have a rough idea that this is buy at the market. Now, when the account gets bigger, maybe you can buy at the market 2 tickets and one has a stop. You buy at the market 2 tickets and one has a stop here, a stop here, and one has a take profits like this. You can start to bolster these up. This could buy in a deeper bank, more buy limits peppered, and then where are those take profits? But what this does is it makes trading easy and it makes it consistent. And if you traded the whole, I had a broker that I had a limit on how many orders I could place. I think it was like 500 or 200. And once I reached the max on that, I could only make so much money with that broker because I had done everything off the hotkey keyboard. So you can see that your rate of return is locked into how you're trading it. You could do your metrics and keep everything sane, as opposed to manual trading where you just really are putting stops not consistent. Okay, this is how to be consistent, and Mark Douglas says you have to do a series of trades. What I decided to do, since I'm impatient, I took the concept of doing a series of trades as doing a series of orders at the moment. See, what Mark Douglas is saying is, oh, well, you have to trade Gartleys for a week and do 20 Gartley trades and then see if that works. This is whole concept of backtesting bullshit. Pick a thing and do that and do a series and see how that works. Okay, I have a positive expectation. Well, I say fuck that. I just want to trade and make money. How can I consistently win and lose? How can I consistently keep my metrics in a certain space? And then I can tweak them. You know, once you get it on there, this is what I learned in artwork. Get it on there, get the paint on the fucking canvas, then manipulate it. Don't think, oh, it's got to look like this. Sure, you have an idea, you're trying to draw a house. But mistakes in art, or whatever you want to call them, tributaries or branches off that happen to you when you're painting something, if you're not open to the fact that that looks better than what you thought it would look like, your conception versus reality, as it's unfolding, you say, you know what? Maybe I should write a script that, or maybe I should have a order that's a little bit deeper next time. It seems like I suck at buying at the market. I'm waiting to watch that guy trade at the market, buying at the market. There is a video out there. Guy buys at the market, 200 standard lots. So I politely asked him, which is rare for me. I said, well, if you know it's going to go down, I just said, when you buy that, you know it's going down some, right? Why don't you just put another order below? He says, he politely emails me back, well, I'm not comfortable with multiple tickets. Right? He's probably comfortable with just one wife, too. But this is where the social conflicts with trading. Your morals and ethics conflict with trading. It's antithetical to trade, to live your life like you would trade to make money. They're completely diametrically opposed on so many levels that trading is difficult as fuck for people that want confirmation. So I have a couple confirmations. I also have a couple I know I'm right. When you buy at the market, you know you're right, or you wouldn't put the trade on. When you buy on a stop, you're saying, I could be wrong. I want confirmation on order flow, follow through, let them fill me. When you buy in a limit, you're saying, I'm daring the market to come fill me. I'm letting the market come to me. And hopefully I know that it's not going to overshoot the runway and it's not going to undershoot, because if it doesn't come back to fill me on my limit, I'm like, I should have put the stop and should have bought the market. Well, all those there's nothing wrong with shoulds. Is going to help you fine tune what you want to do. If you're a scalper, you might program this whole keyboard to be a scalping keyboard. I know when I go to my scalping broker that the keyboard, now I have the same hotkeys in the other broker, but I know they mean different things, since that's hard. Once you get used to that, it's like having an employee. You know, this employee is really good at making coffee, and that's what then you send them home after they make the coffee, because they fuck up everything else. They spill the coffee and fuck up everything. You just have to. Trading's work. It's simple, but it's work. Okay? You own a donut shop. What do you make? Donuts and coffee. That's all you fucking make. Maybe some bagels, right? But that's all you do, man. You don't sell cash registers. You don't sell cars. And you fine tune that. But you go, even a fucking donut shop has more than one flavor of donut. How many guys that just have plain donuts and one flavor of coffee are still in business? If trading's a business and you're trying to accommodate a marketplace of prices that are all over the fucking map, what makes you think that you could take a fucking Gartley and lay that on a donut shop and say, yep, that's the donut right there? What the fuck is wrong with people? Well, no, I use that, but it really works. Well, if it didn't work, why is this guy with a Porsche? Okay, dude, he's already got money. Don't people understand this shit? The guy's got $1 million trading account. He might be living off it. Maybe he made a big Gartley trade. But if he kept trading like that, the same size he was trading, he wouldn't have that money. It has nothing to do with making money. Listen to Jordan Peterson. Okay, once you make a certain amount of money, after that, it's just money. It doesn't change. Once the bill collectors are away from, once you're not worried about your bills, then it's just your life. You want to live your fucking life. Okay. The idea that you're going to make $1 million trading, so what the fuck? It doesn't mean anything. It's not going to make you happy. Oh, sure. If it made you happy, why are millionaires killing themselves, right? Before I get distracted and get angry again, which is my modus operandus, I think, or they call it. One of those like French Latin cliches. Let's go back to the spreadsheet, and I'll just show you the conceptualization of the keys, the way they run, the way they look, and how deep the market really is. It's deeper than I thought, especially when I saw it go down 500 pips one day. I'm like, gosh, it's Wild West, but I love the Wild West. See, I don't want to live in a safe space like the T-note trader, live under the dome. That was hysterical. I remember those guys. I remember that thought. I remember that mindset I remember when I used to think like that. 70% winning. You have to be in that system. So go back to the spreadsheets here. I'm using Plan Maker. I think I can get to work. So that's the riskier key. Now let's zoom out, take a look at all 10 keys here. So when I look at my keyboard, I'm seeing this is C1 key, C2, C3. Now comes the actually I don't no I'm sorry. Here, let me go back to. Okay, so here's a compromise order I was speaking of. This is a blended order here. This key is designed to buy at the market and buy in a limit. And whether this stop is connected to this entry, that's up to you. I typically put this stop connected to this so the ratio is close. This order is going to get in. So I buy at the market with a stop here. I buy in a limit with a stop here. My take profits are up here. But how that's designed is how you feel comfortable. That's your expression. The next key is a buy stop with two different buy stops. 1 pip apart. Those are the stops, these are the take profits. So in your mind's eye, you'd have to keep track of, now this has got a tighter stop and a wider stop, and all these metrics are different, and this is take profit. There should be 2 of those. All right, two take profits. So now, the next key, it gets riskier and riskier. Slightly different, same stop here. I probably wouldn't duplicate that, so I'd really want to move that down. You know, let's see if I move that down. So this way you have diffusion, high resolution diffusion of risk and reward. Your rewards are different prices. This is a hard stop entry. Now this could be moved down, or this could be moved up, say. I wouldn't trade everything off the keyboard, because some of the stuff you're going to have to, now I guess this gets wider and wider, right? The risk goes up, the reward goes up. As you get near key number 10, right? And here's the key. This is, I know this to be 10 pips from here to here. This is 20 pips. This is, so the ratio on this whole thing, you know, you're trying to make, this is 20, 40, 50, about 60 pips here, getting in at this bad stop. This is a stop for people who like to play stops away from current price. I don't like that. This is just an example, and here's your risk, right? You're buying here and your risk. So there's your risk, reward. Now, this could be just 1 pip above on all these. Now, how long does this number 10 key last is going to change everything about how often you got to keep hitting the buttons. Okay, so that is the conceptualization. Then this is the execution buttons programmed, but it's not just that. I wouldn't just be trading that, because that's not enough. I have to trade with these single drops, and if I want to shotgun the market, I have double click. Now this could be canvas, sell canvas, but you can write that. If you do write that, this is a double click, also drag and drop. You just have to invert this. You have to change this to bid. You have to change that to ask. You got to change this to a positive number. You want to sell 10 pips above. You want your stops to be 31 pips above, and your exits to be right where you're at right now. So this is designed to sell on a limit. As it goes up, you get filled. It doesn't go any higher than here. You're risking 20 pips, right? Difference between these two, and your take profit is coming right back to where you are. Sell limit here, right? Goes up, fills you, down. How many of those you put in depends how much money you have in the account. This is hard-coded shotgun. 17 pips above, 25 pips above. You need a lot of money in the account to trade like that. You could put this linear. 10, 20, 30. If you know you're going to do that already, you could program it in. But if you know you're going to do that already and you lose money doing that already, you don't want to program it in, because I did that. You can automate your bad trading too. Be careful. You can automate your bad trading. Oh yeah, I like to trade like that, but you're losing like that. But I've automated it. No, but you'll see. Do it on a demo. And always test this on a demo. One thing I'll say about these orders, the single drops and the limit drops will never freeze. And if these are bad, they will never launch. These are the safest orders. The most dangerous way to trade is at the market. These may not fill. The buy stops will definitely not fill if the spread gets big and the news comes out. If the spread gets wider and the script says, I want to buy 1 pip above and I want to have a stop here, and the spread and the take profit, this is where being cheap can really screw you. say you want to buy, here's the current price. I want to buy 1 pip above, and I'm cheap, so I'm going to put in a 3 pip stop. If the spread gets bigger than these two numbers, it will not launch. It will freeze. It will loop that. You'll have to kill that either by changing time frames, or if you say right mouse click and say remove script, that won't always work. You either change time frames, or you say delete all objects or something, or run another script, run it again, and it'll say, do you really want to stop that? And that right there is going to take time. So just change the time frame, it'll kill it. That'll take 10 seconds, and the whole platform will freeze and go gray, and the hourglass will come up for 10 seconds. That's a lot of time when the market's moving 10 pips every 5 seconds. So it depends what kind of trader you are. If you're an off market trader, if you're an end of day trader, or if you're a day job trader, you can just throw this limit pick, and this buys every pip. I can't launch it, but every pip in a 10 pip range with a 15 pip stop, which actually, if this whole thing filled, you have a master stop here of 5 pips on these limit grids, if you think about it. Because if you're going to buy a 10 pip range, you're going to buy a 10 pip range like this, and each ticket has the exact same ratio, that you have in essence a 5 pip master stop. If the market crashed through that whole order bank and never went down, that other one came up, you would realize the 15 pip risk to make the $30. $15 to make $30. So here's the actual dollar amount. Here's the pip amount based on a 10K. This is a 3K. This is $6 to make $6, right? But you have a hard stop here. If you're going to buy over a 10 pip range here, and your stop's 20, you have a hard stop of 10. So what's the likelihood when you design a limit grid of getting filled? So I have 3 styles in here. Oh, Jesus. Another bottomless pit is all these scripts. There's a 12 pip range. So you can see 10 pips on the screen here. If you drop, you know, it's about what you want to risk, I suppose. But you could write anything. You could write the most crazy stuff here. How do you edit these? Well, here. You pick how many pips apart. Where your cursor goes is going to be the very top ticket you can't see. So this is actually a 5K, because your cursor is going to place a limit also. Then you have 4 more tickets. You can turn these on, but I've got them all turned on, and you would just change it. When you start to turn these on and take the forward slashes away and turn these on, then you have to edit everything, and there's just very elaborate scripts. So if you want to change the spacing, the way I look at it is, if you wrote a script like this, then you look for a place to launch it, plug it in the market. And this is against what people would say. Well, analyze the market and then come up with a trade plan. How about come up with a trade plan and find a place to place that trade plan? Come up with an invention and look for a place, and look for customers to sell it to. What audience does that appeal to? What did you invent? Did you invent a sex toy? Did you invent a new car? Then you look for that. You know, if you're you have to know where your market's at. You find the market to launch that idea. These are ideas. Ideas that are coded. You don't have to trade with that. You could just trade single drops. You can make a ton of money trading single drops. But it's work. Place those orders in there, and then just let it go, right? Let her cry. The take all profits key, I think the guy, I forgot to tell the guy, you got to open this up. It's under trades. Here's close all open and pendings. It's kind of like a panic button, or maybe the end of the day. At the end of the day, maybe you want to clear the decks. Now, you could not do this in the old days, because you call your broker and get cancel. Or they call it the end of the day order. Good till canceled. Like good till canceled mean that order would be there all day long. GTC orders. And then there was end of day. What? EODs or something? And the beauty here is you can have the end of 4 hours that thing cancels. So if you know the news is coming out, and maybe take all those open and pennies off the order. So just before news comes out, you go flat. It's under trades. It's not under. But I'll post the code in there. Hopefully this close all profits. I haven't found one that close all profits per symbol yet. If anybody knows that one, you can post that. Dollar CAD, same story, different day. Here is the 15-minute CAD. How would you trade this with limits? Well, if you don't want to chase the market, you could put a buy limit here, one here, one here, one here. Right? That's the work part. You get filled, right? Top becomes a bottom. This is a top, and you get a top become a bottom. Not precisely. The market's going up so violently that, this was a trap on the 4-hour. Okay. Look at the 4-hour chart. Where do you want to buy? You want to buy the fake breakouts on the bigger time frames. Buy here, right? Very tight. Stops could have been employed or wide. Where are you going to scalp to here? That's your first target. Maybe this is your second, third, whatever. If your target's here, you're still holding. I can't do that. I can't afford to do that. I'm not going to do that to myself anymore. I'm going to get out along the way. All right, get in with the right sizes here. Get out along the way. You may never realize that they've already trapped these people. Can you see the scalpers entry? They had a sell limit here. They're up on the trade. They're out. Okay. Bar by bar. Fuck looking back. Fuck looking left. Okay. Look at where you're at. You look too far left, you're going to rationalize a bad position. Oh yeah, but look back here. Okay. You just blew up your account. Now what? Okay, I hope that helps. Trading's work. It's simple, but it's work.